Good day, everyone. This is Chuck Terry again with Crescent and Valiani. Today, we're going to talk about grouping and aligning multiple objects. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Valiani Create software. To save time, I've already went in and adjusted the opening dimensions and added in a bunch of multiple opening holes. They're all rectangles, but essentially the process can work with clip art, text, different templates, so on and so forth. So again, I've just got different dimensions of openings in here, and we're going to show you how to work with laying out the multiple opening mat using the alignment tools, spacing tools, and the grouping functionality. So I've got these kind of all just randomly in place. I'm just going to quickly arbitrarily just drag some objects around, get them somewhat into position of where I expect them to be. I'm going to ungroup that one, and I'm going to just move these objects around so that I can kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at here and how I want to move forward with adjusting everything out. So I do have auto sizing turned on, and I do have my snap tool turned on. So just quickly looking at what I've got laid out here in my mind's eye, I'm looking at some different things here. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to come down here and select these three objects down at the bottom. Now, with those three objects, what I want to do is I want to make sure that the centers are aligned perfectly horizontally. So now that I've got those perfectly in line, all the centers are lined up straight in line with each other. The next thing I want to do is I want to adjust the spacing between these. And I'm going to go 1.5 inches between those two, or those three. So now what that did is that put a 1.5 inch gap. If you look down here at the bottom horizontally, I've got 1.5 inches between this object and my small object. Now, if I want to check the next one, click on the small opening, select the next large one. Again, it's 1.5. So they're perfectly aligned. They're adjusted with the spacing that I've selected. I'm going to go ahead and select those three objects and group them together. Okay. Now, the next thing I can look at is, okay, I'm going to come over here to these two objects over on the side. I want to make sure that they're aligned perfectly vertically and that I have the same amount of spacing vertically. So I'm going to go 1.5 vertically on that. Now, those two are adjusted the way that I want. I'll go ahead and group those together. I can do the same thing to this side over here. Select those two objects, align them vertically, which they look like they were, and then I'm going to space them at 1.5 on that as well. Group that object together. Now, I've got these two objects down here in the center. I want to align them horizontally, and then again, put in my spacing 1.5, and then I'm going to group those together. Now, I'm going to take that group of objects, I'm going to hold the control key down, and I'm going to select the large window up at the very top, and I want to make sure that they're aligned dead center. Now, I've got them aligned center. I want to put in a vertical distance of 1.5, and I can group that together. So I'm going to have a group within a group. So I'm going to group that together. Now I can start working with the different objects. So I'm going to take this group, and I'm going to align the centers vertically or horizontally. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this object and the object over here to the left, and I want to put in a horizontal distance of 1.5. Okay, now you can see that adjusted the bottom there, so that's okay. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to go ahead and group that together. Actually, no, I'm going to ungroup that. Let's take this object and the next group, and let's go, well, actually, let's just go across those. Unselect that. Let's align the tops, and then I'm going to put in a 1.5 distance there. Sorry, undo. So I've got this object, and this object, and we're going to go 1.5, and those look like they're adjusted the way I want it, so I'll go ahead and group that together. Then I'll take my final group down here at the bottom, select it, and align those to the center horizontally, and then put in a gap of vertical 1.5. Okay, so now I've got everything laid out the way that I want. I've got all the spacing, I've got all the alignment, all the equal distances between the objects. And, I went through that a little quickly, so I had a couple of areas where I had to undo and go back a step or two. But if you follow the steps on here, you can see how it's pretty simple and easy to set up a multiple opening mat and get the openings positioned using the spacing tools, the alignment tools, and the grouping tools. So we got grouping, we've got our alignment tools, and then we have our spacing tools that allow you to quickly adjust everything as you see fit. Now, if I want to make this a double mat, I've got all the objects selected. Come over here, click Change Layer, put it on 1/4 inch, click OK, and now I've got a double mat. And that will show you how to adjust and modify the different multiple openings.